The three-time Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes and the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs will head to MetLife Stadium to take on the also 0-2 New York Giants and their Super Bowl champion quarterback, Russell Wilson. Now, statistics tell us that teams that have started a season 0-3 have less than a 3% chance to make the playoffs. So for all intents and purposes, we have our first playoff elimination game, but more importantly than that, no team in history has ever won the Super Bowl after starting a season 0-3. Now to start, let's keep it with the Kansas City Chiefs, because the expectations coming to this year, of course, when you have your MVP quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, are high. Coming off a tough loss to the Chargers in which they were very susceptible to the pass. Justin Herbert ends the game on the ground. Last week against Philadelphia, similar story, not able to get the football. Dak trailing by 3 points after the bomb down the field. If you're Kansas City and you're told you only give up 20 points to Philadelphia, that you allow less than 100 yards rushing to Saquon Barkley, that Jalen Hurts only has 100 yards passing on the day, and you wind up losing that game, you would be shocked that that would be possible. Now, for the New York Giants and their starting quarterback, Russell Wilson, he had arguably the best game of his career going through regulation. And in overtime, he throws it up for grabs, looking for Nabers, miscommunication, a Hail Mary, if you will. A screw it, Malik Nabers is down there somewhere. I understand if he was my wide receiver, I would see it the exact same way. Can't make those mistakes. Obviously, these quarterbacks have had big moments in their careers. Mahomes, a lot more of late. But if you're a New York Giants fan, you are going into this game with a ton of excitement that you can see more of what the offense was last week. It's Cam Scatterbo time. This kid ran the football effectively last week. He caught the ball effectively. Now would you like to catch him the football the first time? There's that play over the middle where he kind of bobbles it, but continues to carry the football forward after the catch. The Giants, look, that was a heartbreaking loss. I didn't understand the coverage. They just had the deep ball to Nabers, take the lead, and they allowed Dallas to hit a ball right over the middle of the field, getting into range, and then Aubrey nails a 64-yard field goal that would have been good from 74 yards. Can't make that up. Now, I went into this season talking about how tough this New York Giants schedule is. And for Kansas City, speaking about the effort that the Chargers will bring week one, how physical the Eagles are. You know that well. You've probably watched the highlights of that Super Bowl 20 times, or you haven't watched them a single time because you don't want to relive the memories of that game. But for Kansas City, it was a little bit of the same story at the trenches, or just a little bit better at the end of the day for Philadelphia. That 4th and 1, I know that there was maybe, there wasn't maybe, there was movement. Two guys, both guards are moving. Should have been called. Eagles punch it in. Hard enough play to stop when we have that movement. I understand that for the Chiefs. New York does not have that type of offensive line. I'm expecting the Chiefs to get up in this game to establish the line of scrimmage. New York showed last week that their strength as an offense will be the perimeter. How about we give a little clap for Wan'Dale Robinson establishing himself as the clear-cut number 2 wide receiver on this team. Darius Slayton has done a good job, but Robinson going off in this one. Malik Nabers, I got to tell you, and you know that this is unbiased because I'm an Ohio State Buckeye football fan. Malik Nabers is the best wide receiver of that 3 wide receiver group of Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, and Malik Nabers. Gotta tell you, he looks more explosive than the two. In a 50-50 football, gotta have it. It just seems that Malik Nabers is making the play more often than not so far in his NFL career. Young that it is, he's coming down with it. Helps when you play in the Southeast Conference going up against that consistent level of competition. Now for the Chiefs, it hurt them that they didn't have Xavier Worthy. The dislocated shoulder, the first possession of the season with the contact with Travis Kelce, very tough to be without that explosive of a guy. Travis Kelce dropping the pass by the goal line that leads to the interception from Andrew Makuba. Josh Simmons hauling ass down the sideline, makes the tackle on him, but it still leads to 7 points anyway. That was my favorite play of the football game, not because Kelce dropped it because you have an O-lineman running his darn butt off to make a play and save a touchdown. It leads to 7, but that is teach tape. That is effort, because you can't teach effort. Apparently, they do over there up north in Columbus. Now, New York, 0-2. We were talking about how tough that schedule is. You're at home against Kansas City. We've seen this story before, where you've got the coach, you have talent on the outside. The defense has played well. That front four might just be the best in the National Football League. Burns, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter. I'm expecting them to stop the run. Why I have the Chiefs with an advantage in this game on the defensive side of the football, establishing a sense to stop that Giants run game, is because of Chris Jones and Omar Norman Lott. Arizona State for 3 seasons. He transfers to Tennessee, and he is immediately one of the best interior defenders in college football there. James Pierce Jr., familiar off the edge, one of his teammates. Fantastic on that side. Kansas City, that's what we're expecting them, to stop the run, make Russell Wilson beat you. Now, do they have the athletes that they maybe had a couple of years ago, where they had a L'Jarius Sneed that they could rotate and give their evil genius of a defensive coordinator and Spagnuolo the opportunities to dial it up? He still likes to do the same thing. But for New York, I'm attacking. Trent McDuffie is pretty good, but Malik Nabers one-on-one, he's got to get double-digit targets. I'm winning and losing with my best on the outside. We're going to see if the Chiefs can tackle Cam Scataba. Not a lot of people have shown that they have the ability to do it. A very positive sign that he could run the football well against Dallas. We saw Philadelphia do it pretty well, not to the extent we might have assumed coming into the season after Saquon's 2,000-yard year a year ago. But when it comes down to it, and I've got this game being relatively close, that it will be high stakes, that it will come down to maybe a possession in that fourth quarter. Russell Wilson, he can't make those turnovers. We can't have those plays. They cost your team opportunities. I'm not going to bring up what you know most people will bring up, because that was just a great play by a defensive player. But Wilson, I don't get how you can be that reckless with the football in that big of a moment. Going forward here, when you have a game like the Chiefs, you have to beat them. The Eagles went out there and beat them. The Chargers went out there and beat them. Both teams went down with their best. The tush-push for Philly, the Chargers, the football in Justin Herbert's hands. That's how they did it. For Kansas City, did they get Worthy back? As of the recording of this, it looks like he's going to play on Sunday night. Sunday night football under the bright lights in New York does not get better than that. Will Xavier Worthy be on the field? It's clear that they miss Rashee Rice. That type of impact guy, you just can't make up for it right now. And Travis Kelce, so close to being the hero once again, like we've seen him do 50 times in his career, coming up with the clutchest plays in the biggest moments. But the run game for Kansas City, we've seen them do it in the past. And the last time they started 0-2 was 2014. They did not make the postseason. Beyond that, remember a guy named Kareem Hunt toting the football well? It was a difference maker for Alex Smith in the early days. They had those good teams, and they were able to pile up the points. Remember Jamal Charles for Kansas City? They've had run games when they've had their best teams. They need to establish it. Understand that there's injuries, but you have to commit to it. I know that you want to get Patrick Mahomes rolling around and making these crazy plays, but it is a 17-game season. And more often than not, it's been a 20-game season for the Kansas City Chiefs, because they've had to play 3-4 playoff games. Oh, I get that. But this cannot be a game where Mahomes has to run the football 7 times again. Did he run the ball well? Did he have a big scrambling touchdown? Yes, he did. Absolutely. But you can't rely on that. The ball has to come out on time. Separation needs to be there from the Chiefs wide receivers. I believe that they will get that and win this football game by 7 points. I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning 24-17. Curious what your take is on the game. It simply comes down to experience in this one. A team that has proven they have the ability to bounce back and respond after they've been down in the dumps, and a team on the other side like the New York Giants that has continuously showed us that they haven't been able to do that. That after a pretty good defensive performance and a terrible offensive performance, week 2, one of those things gets corrected and they go off on the offensive side, and the defense just cannot stop anything. Over 1,000 total yards in that game. That was incredible. Chiefs-Eagles, 2 blue blood heavyweights throwing down, blood all over the place. What a matchup. But this one, have to go with the Kansas City Chiefs because what they have shown us as of late in winning these one-score games. That streak, it's incredible. They had won that many one-score games in a row and then they lose 2. It's wild. You cannot make that kind of stuff up. But I'm curious. Let me know down below in the comments who wins this game and why. Brian Daboll, I got to tell you my last thing here. This is tough. This is the toughest schedule in football. I give him another year. Whatever the result is for New York, keep faith. This man can coach his tail off. Did a great job in developing Josh Allen in the early years. He will do the exact same thing for Jackson Dart when his time comes. Don't understand what they're doing, bringing in Dart in some of these packages and making it obvious to the Cowboys that they're going to run the ball with him. We're going to move past that. But what a game we have here on Sunday night. Chiefs 24, Giants 17. I appreciate you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.